Alrighty. Okay, so we are ready to start. So yes, welcome to the Exploit Pack training. We are gonna do one of these sessions each month, and so, yeah, so it's for this year because of Corona, and yeah, started on April. What we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna, as you know, we are gonna do some reversing today, some crack miss from zero, from scratch. Gonna be 2 sessions. So the first one, we're gonna cover the basics. As I ask you guys, you need to have a VM with some tools on it, pre-training, so you have it configured. So we're gonna do some practical things. So I don't know if you guys already saw it, but you need to load some files. I already put it on the chat. If you haven't get it, just do it now. So during the training, we will have 1 hour, 2 hours, and we're gonna do 3 type of levels. We're gonna go through the tools, and as I mentioned, the whole training on this topic will take 2 sessions. It's gonna be today, of course, and next week, and I think we're gonna do it on Thursday, a little bit earlier than this time, that 9 Amsterdam, so more people can attend as well on the other time zones. If you cannot attend, of course, you can look at the recordings later on. If you are hearing this on a recording, then yeah, feel free to to ping me over, or if you have any questions regarding the training, or if you miss something and you couldn't attend, of course, you cannot make the questions live, but you can do it during the week. All right, so of course, unzip the file. Let's look over at the files that we have here. So I dropped 3 PDF files. So there are basically 3 books there. One is based on IDA, is a book that covers IDA Pro. See the full screen cropped? That's weird. Let me see it here. You cannot see the full screen now? Is it, does it looks good, guys? Please confirm so we can go ahead. Yeah, you can see it? All right, perfect. Okay, so great. So the first one is this guy, the IDA Pro book. Yeah, so basically it covers how to use IDA. It covers really from the basics. So this is a nice book that I recommend you guys to look at. It will teach you some debugging, assembly, and yeah, of course, based from the IDA perspective on how to use it, how it works, etc. And the other one is more general, is the secret of reverse engineering. It's not the best book out there, but it is one that I like because it covers everything in a general way. So it doesn't approach it from one debugger or one perspective only, right? And the last one is like the Bible of the anti-reversing. So whenever you are doing some reversing and you're starting, you will have tons of questions on different type of techniques that are used, right? So this book cover most of the techniques used on crackmes, of course it's based on anti-debugging, the type of techniques that are used, but I think if you go through them, you will notice that it will really be good for you to understand how these type of techniques they are implemented. You can also implement these techniques if you are writing your own crackme, or if you are looking for a real program. Because as it is right now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through these 3 crackmes. Of course, they go into for instance, the level 1 is really easy to do, and the second one will be a little bit harder, and the third one, it will present a higher challenge. I expect that you guys, if you have any questions doing the exercises, please go ahead, unmute yourself, and use use this time to make all the questions that you need. If you cannot handle to do the whole 3 exercises, and you still have questions during the week, or you want to try it later on, feel free to drop a message in the Discord channel as well. All right, let's first cover the tools. As I mentioned, you can use basically any debugger that you like. I mentioned it a few. There are others as well. For instance, Radar is a really good one. So I have a x66 debugger here. He's on the on the 86 version. Yeah, let's go ahead. Yes. And then you will have these two. Okay, so the first thing, let's start with the first one. You can also go ahead and do as I'm doing. But what I'm gonna do on the first one, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna use the first exercise, the level 1, to show you the different debuggers, right? So you have on one side you can open these binaries first. Before approaching this type of binaries, all these binaries, I take those, except the third one. This is the one I wrote. I took them from cracklist.1. That's a site I really like. Also, another site that I recommend to take challenge from is Hack the Box. The reversing challenges from Hack the Box, they are really fun to do. Because when you do one of those from Hack the Box, you can tell that the guys that really put some thought into those crack me's, not just get the serial and that's it. All right. So the first thing to do is you want to know the type of binary, right? So there are several tools you can use. For instance, or you can choose drop file into if you are doing Windows. On a Linux, sorry. And then, but I use this program because I just have it here, is the Take It Easy. And then with this one, you can just tell, okay, it's a 32 type of binary. The type is console, the architecture. Well, you can also get the timestamp, the size of image, the base address, the entry point, and so on and so forth. And of course, the file type will match this. Well, you can do some other stuff, but we only wanted to know this, so we can drop it into a debugger, right? So it was 32, so we need to choose this guy. All right. All right, fair enough. I think I need some more libraries in order to open this guy. Well, I actually need some more libraries. If you want to use that, you need to install it properly. Let's try binary ninja as well. So I'm gonna binary ninja is not a debugger per se, but it will help you do some static analysis of it. So what happens here is that I'm going to show you the same. So first in binary ninja, just because, but then I'm going to show you the same on Jydra, on IDA, and maybe some others. So these are the functions that where binary ninja was able to identify. If there are functions that cannot identify, then it will choose mark it away. As you can see, some of those functions, basically what I explained, it applies for most of the other debuggers that we're gonna see. You can see that these functions, they are referenced by the binary itself, and they are linked through the EIT, right? The EIT, if you don't know what the EIT, you can do MSDN. Sorry. I recommend you that you guys do this always. Okay, let's start. Another, of course, I hope that everyone knows it, but if you want to know, like, for example, I don't know, string copy, then you type man string copy, and then you have here. So this is basically the references that that you should look into, right? MSDN is because, well, it's a Microsoft online documents that they have, and the manual is a manual page, basically for Unix like systems. Every time you read something that you don't understand, the basic is to Google it and try to read it. So that's the only way that you can understand what's happening, right? Don't you just read it and don't understand what you're doing. All right. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so these are referenced dynamically on the IAT. Basically, you know, they are linked there into the binary itself. There are other functions like these guys, sub. So these guys have not been basically binary ninja couldn't make tails, heads and tails of what this reference is. So it call it sub from it coming from subroutine, and then the number that follows is the offset based on the binary itself. So if we double click on this one, we will see that it's called sub, and then it starts on the address that it was here called in. Of course, that's not right. It's just because it couldn't it couldn't recognize it, but some others it has been able to recognize it. MinGW is a compiler that you can use for, I guess, for Windows. I think it's also multi-platform, but so basically they are a reference to other libraries that coming from MinGW, right? Then some others as well, some other functions that are being used. But of course, what you can do is choose to go to the start, and then or try to go into the main function, so you can understand what it's doing. Basically, on the right side here, we have a visual map. Like the thing you can drop it. Yes, you can go like this. And most of these type of stack analysis tools, they allow you to, like, I just did it, like double click on the function and then you just go inside it, so you can navigate what is happening. You can also, here you can see the code references for this particular function, and you can have multiple tabs, of course, and then it allows you to do some other it has some other cool features, like maybe drop strings. It directly edit this binary from here with the X editor. All right, let's move on to the next one. So now that you have just had a look into it, let's do Jira, because Jira is quite good. So Jira again is like a static analysis tool. Okay, I already have it here. Let's remove it so I can show you. We put it here. Jira is Java based, like exploit pack. So you will need to have Java installed in your machine in order to run Jira. And then you can choose double click on it. There is an installer as well for Jira nowadays. But when you have it here, you just need to create like file, new project, create project, and then you will have the folder here, and then you just drop a binary there. It will automatically try to, at least, to recognize the type of format that is using. It already knows there is a PE, portable executable, the language that is based on, well, the destination folder and the program name. You can set up some option as well. Then just click OK. You will add it, and it will import it into here, right? It will also it will run some fingerprints on it. All right. Basically, Java is having multiple modules. The main module that we're gonna use is called browser, but there are also other modules that you can have. There are even modules nowadays for Java as a plugin that you can, for instance, have GDB installed into Java or it connected to it, and then you can basically use Java as a debugger as well, not only as a code browser tool. Well, double click on it, and then it will launch the code browser module, and then it will ask you if you haven't already, it will ask you to analyze this one. So you say yes. You can select the type of analysis that you want to do. You can either select those, or you can select deselect or select all, and then just I'm just gonna select all, then analyze. All right, and as you saw, on the bottom right corner of the window, it was showing you the status of the analysis. This binary is quite small, but if there is a binary this large, you can just go ahead and follow the status, or maybe cancel one of the analyses. So once you have it here, what's gonna happen is that it's gonna again list the program tree. This is basically the sections that you can see, like the header, the desk, the text, the data section, air data, the BSS, data, CST. So basically these are the most important sections that you need to understand how they work. And this is the one that we are gonna work on. That is the text version, is a section that contains the code. Basically, after that, it will also show you a symbol tree that contains the imports, the exports, and the functions. So as with binary ninja, you remember it was showing the functions. You can see the functions here. And as you can see, well, instead of call it a subroutine, sub plus the offset, it just call it a fun for function, right? And then you have it here plus the offset. Let me see. All right. Let me answer a question. This one guy asking on Discord if this is gonna be recorded, but I'm gonna tell to Phil. Hi Phil. It's being recorded. Thanks guys for waiting. As I said, if you have any questions while I'm explaining this, just go ahead and unmute yourself if you are not shy, or you can just use the chat as well. All right. So let's go back to it. So we're saying that the functions are here, and the export as well, and the imports. For instance, these are the DLLs that are imported into this this binary. This is quite cool to have directly into Java, because, for instance, if you are working on a DLL injection and you are trying to do the typical one where the using Pokemon you found the name not found thing, then you can go into the binary and see if it's calling the library and also the exports that is making reference to. So, for instance, let's say this guy, kernel 32, and you can say, oh, it's gonna export all this. Okay. So again, if we go to these functions, then we can also try to go into any function like this guy. Let's go into the main. All right. From the main tab, you can see that it not only open it. So Kumar, you saying audio is a bit jammering? Is it? I think it's only for you. Maybe it's something on your internet connection. All right. So I choose open the main section. So as soon as I open the main section, you will see that you have the disassembly. So on one side, on the left side of the screen, you will have the main disassembly. Yeah. And then you can see, for instance, it will say hello world, blah, blah, blah. And then on the right side, you will also have the decompilation. So basically what it means is that on real time you will see the pseudocode. It's not a C, it's type of kind of like a C code. So this is basically the pseudocode of this thing. So and a cool thing is that if you click on this, for instance, the return, if I select this guy, then I can see directly as well, it will be linked, what is the disassembly of it, right? The opcodes that, yeah, where at least where it's starting. So for instance, for the hello world, we can see that is making this code that here, and then is doing some call to this guy, and then if we follow, we can see that it's making a call here. Yeah. Again, as I show you, it's in Windows. Yeah, as I show you with the other guy, with the binary initial, you can also drop strings, for instance, define the strings. And then if we want to look at one, then you can choose double click on this, and it will also tell you the data type, the section, where it belongs. The only thing is that, of course, as I mentioned, you can also move the windows, and you can move it like this. For instance, if we want to have it here, then we have like this. So basically, again, if you, and also one thing that I like is to use the graphical view, and you can have it here as well. Put it there, but where did it go? Function graph. And I want to have it here. Yes, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So, well, basically, you can drop into a function graph. So you can, okay, let's go into main, and then if we go to main, we can see, how can let me get some zoom. So, oh, it's with shift. Oh, weird. Oh. Yeah, okay, yeah, it should be with the control, but somehow it's with shift. Okay, so well, again, you can move from here, but basically you can follow here the trees, and this is really small, but if you have like two different ones, then you will move into other ones. Let's go into something else. So let's go here. Find it. Okay, let's try to jump into something else. Let's go to here. Okay. All right. Yeah, for some reason it's doing that. Okay, let's move into the other one, because we cannot use this guy either. So, oh yeah, the last one is IDA. So we have a similar type of window. So with IDA, you will have also the functions here. IDA is a little bit smarter than the other tools that I shown. it will recognize more functions as well. So you can see there is only a few subroutines without offset, without name. So basically, then from here we can go into the main guy, and then with IDA you can choose as well. You can also select open to views, and then from here it's like the other on Jira. Maybe you should have Jira open as well, right? There you go. Okay, let's do the same. So we have it here, the two main functions, and then we have it here as well. As you can see on IDA, we don't have the compiler. It's not there. So if we want to decompile, oh, I have it above with my IDA, but anyway, you can also decompile with IDA, and you can link the two windows. How do you do that? You need to synchronize these two windows. You can select this. I have it here, but I can also synchronize it, for instance, with the X view. But you can also synchronize it with the decompiler, right? And there's also another trick. If you have your IDA, and you don't have a decompiler, for instance, in IDA it's called X-Rate. If you don't have the decompiler or you don't have the license for it, what you can do is to install a plugin that will use the decompiler from Jira inside IDA. So that also works. I mean, and also the decompiler from Jira is quite cool. I tried that, and it works just fine. I like it. I will recommend you not to use the compiler. I mostly not use it, because at the beginning it's easier to understand, but then it will take you places that you shouldn't go. Like by looking at the code, it's easy to get distracted, right? Because it's not the code itself, you are reading pseudocode. So it's the interpretation of IDA or Jira of the code. And when you look at the disassembly, it's actually the disassembly that I think is more, it's more easier to read the disassembly than the pseudocode. It will, in my opinion. Anyway, so here it is. Let's how to run it in IDA is choose run it like this. Well, in this case, you don't need to run it. It's just a static analysis that you can do to get the flag. But you can do it also with this one, or binary ninja. So before we continue into the second one that requires more analysis, can you guys can you guys tell me what's the flag? So open the level 1. I think it was on the screen for half an hour. So you should know right now what's the flag. Oh, entropy just found it. Nice. Well done, dude. Okay, so let's go to the second one. I think the second one is gonna be better to, and it's gonna be funnier. So let's first drop it into here. At least or your favorite tool should know the mode. So it's 62 P 386. So this is called Crack Me Daddy. Let's try to solve it with the user exploit pack. I'm gonna give you guys let's say 5-10 minutes, and if you have questions, just pick me over right on the chat. Just gonna let you guys try to solve this one. If you have questions, just use the time. So just as to give you a hint, how the easiest way to start, it doesn't matter the debugger, just drop the strings. Drop the strings and then you can start following, right? So for instance, I'm just gonna give you the hint of how you should start. So let's say if you have this input, right? So what is your name? And then you follow it. And it say, okay, press enter to start, blah, blah, blah. Then it does some prints. And then is doing some print put char. Yeah, and then it's gonna ask for the password. Print, it's using printf and then scanf. Oh, also you can use auto comments on IDA. So yeah, it's some comments that will help you understand better the code faster, at least. So then it's gonna say, okay, what's the password? It's gonna go printf, and it's gonna call scanf, and then as you can see, you have congrats, you got it. Or if it doesn't go there, then it takes you to fail it, fail it, fail it, fail it, try again. So we don't want to go there, so we click here, ping, and then we say red. You can do this as well on the other debuggers, like setting this on color, and then you can say, congrats, you got the password. We're gonna do this, that. Let's put a breakpoint on the printf in case we succeeded. All right. And I guess that's it. There are some more advanced topics that you can do, is like, I don't know, conditional jumps, but these are gonna be covered next week more deep. So you did like editing a breakpoint and just trying to make conditional jumps, and then yeah, taking you to a break or jumps, or yeah, some scripting. But I'm gonna cover this today. That's gonna be next week. But all right, I think this is enough. So this is enough to take you somewhere, so you can start debugging this. Yeah, okay. So it's about time. Let's I'll give you 5-10 minutes so you guys can solve it. If you solve it, just type the serial, or what is it asking for, the password. Type the password on the chat if you manage to get it. So if you guys, if you find the password, so you have 6 minutes left. If you find the password, don't put it on public, send it on the direct message to me. Yeah, yes, of course. It will. I will explain you how to solve it after. It's quite easy to solve that actually. And I'm gonna also show you some tricks you can use for this type of crack miss. That basically, it most of the level 1 crack miss like this one, those are the most basic ones can be solved in the same way. But please try to solve it you first. So because you will learn faster if you at least try to solve it on your own machine. And then when I explain it, you will understand way better than if you just look at me on how I solve it. All right, guys. Does anyone needs more time, or should we go ahead with the explanation? If anyone is about to solve it, just let me know so we can give you a few more minutes. Otherwise, just drop a message, of course, or you unmute yourself and then tell if you're already to hear the explanation. Alrighty. Okay, well, time's up. So let's go ahead with the explanation then. Okay, so as I mentioned, so you go to strings and then you need to find a reference to start with. Oh, we have someone that saw it. Wait. So the user is called Ann, but what's the password, Mr. A? Oh, user is user. Sorry, man. Yeah. Okay, got it. All right, nice. Well done. Should we? You should finish right on time. So yeah, let's go ahead with the special for the rest. But well done. Okay, so well, basically, as I mentioned, you need to find a way to start, right? So you find a reference, as I did. That was the tip on how to approach this type of crack miss. So you go there, and then it could be any, or you can choose navigating to the main function or to the export, and then choose start. Yeah, going and trying to find the main function. The easiest, of course, is to drop strings and then try to go into something that will reference into the main, for instance, this guy. So how do I do that? Is well, choose drop strings, depends on the debugger, but of course with IDA it's like this, but you can basically do exactly the same with different shortcuts and different commands, but it's exactly the same what you can do. So when I drop the strings on IDA, at least it shows me the addresses. For instance, all these strings are here, are held in the data section. If I go into failed, just double click on it, it will take me to this offset, this address where this reference is. And then you can see like here is data xref, you can click on it, and then, or if you drop the mouse over, or you can double click on it, you press escape to go back, or you can choose select it, the name of the variable, press X, and then it will choose drop you a new window with the reference. So on this spawned window, you can see the reference. It could be more than one. You can double click on one or select one and press OK to go into that reference too. Well, now it shows me that is reference to here. So basically what it's doing here is trying to construct the puts. So in order to call puts, it needs to be it needs the memory address of this offset, and it's gonna move it as a pointer into ESP. So basically that's what it's doing, and then calling puts, it will show this in the screen. Yeah, using puts, just like printf. If you don't know what puts is or printf, as I mentioned before, you can do man put like that, and then you can just go ahead and read that. I recommend that you do that. And then you can, well, here is quite easy, but for instance, if you can find reference back into, so for instance, if I select this location, what I can do also is press X and then reference back. To show you is you can see it on top. You don't need to do this, but you can see it on top that is referenced by these two guys. So if I go into one, it will show me here, but if I go into the other one, it will take me there. You see? So on here is quite easy because it's exactly in the same window, but it might be coming from a different function, from a different function directly for a different one. So you can also go back into the references. So that's basically reverse engineering. So you can also put some names into those. For instance, yeah, we can call this guy, rename it like this guy. Let's call it and then we can call this guy one. Two, choose, so it's easier for you, right? And also you can rename even the functions as well. Okay, so what's the easiest way to solve this? So this we know that we don't want to go here. We want to go here. So we're gonna drop a breakpoint, sorry, a software breakpoint into the string copy because it's a string comparison. So again, if you don't know what a string comp is, so you can do and then you have it. So string comparison here it says, where is the definition? Yeah. Returns an integer indicating the results of the comparison as follows. 0 if the string 1 and string 2 are equal, a negative value if string 1 is less than string 2, and a positive value if string 1 is greater than string 2. So basically, that's it. So we know that it's going to ask for passport. It's going to come from here. So first, it's going to say press enter to start. Let's go ahead, and because this is the easiest way because I know how to solve it. But let's start on push EPP. That is the kickoff. So we go from there, and then right now what I'm doing is just running the binary, and now I'm on the debugging window of IDA. So press F8 to continue the execution, F7 to go into a function, but if I press F7 on puts, for instance, right now I'm here, and it's gonna go inside put, but if I press F8, it's gonna jump over, right? So it's jumping over. Now it's waiting on get char. So it says press enter to start. There you go. I press enter and then continue, and now it's moving this offset into this pointer. And now the pointer is there, but now is it calling puts? It's gonna drop it in the screen, right? Boom. Now it's on the screen. See? Next, again the same drill. So basically F8. Now is the pointer is there, and you can see it here. This is the stack view. You see here, our data, and then boom, now is there. The second one now is this guy. You see, change it, and now puts, and then the third one. There you go. So character, and now it's gonna do printf. So what is your username? Blah blah blah. Printf, and then go, and now it's calling it scanf. So it dropped this, and then right after that, it just called scanf. Scanf, it will choose read the input, and then we will say export back, enter, and then move it there. It's gonna check, so you can see it on EAX. See, if I double click on, oh my god, sorry guys, I need to restart my VM. That's the demo gods not wanting us to solve this challenge. Almost there. Well, that was quick. I think it didn't save any state. We need to open it back on IDA. The good thing about IDA is that saves everything on a database. So we should have it. Yes, you see, we should, if I open it again on IDA, should have it there. We say load existing instead of override. Override, it will do it again. So load existing, and then we are there. Okay. So we were saying that we were here, right? So let's put a breakpoint there, remove this breakpoint, start the program again. Press this, exploit pack. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna press space. So we are back into the graphical view, and then we will say EAX, right? Double click on it, and then you will see on the DVD all the charts that are held in the stack. And if I press A, the letter A, it will just show me directly the whole word from where it started to the end. If I press escape, I can go back to it. Basically, what it's gonna do now is gonna do the call the procedure of strlen. So strlen is basically another function. Again, I'm gonna show you man strlen. There, you can read it. So basically, this function is to calculate the length string provided to by existing determinate value. So basically, it's gonna read everything from the beginning of the string to the end of the string. That is the null value, and then it's gonna give you the size of it. So that's the size, and if the size is right, gonna go into there, the size was right, so it was enough, and then it's gonna take it here, compare it to see if it's null, if it's more than nothing, so it's different than nothing. There. When it finished the, let's close this. When it finish that, it will gonna drop into here, of course. So what we can do is to just press F9. Well, actually, we can choose go ahead and go into here because it will ask for the password after that. So press F9, and then we jump all the way. So we jump at all these loops into here. All right, so then we go here. Also, exploit and answer is exploit with shorthand. And A again got the password for exploit for the exploit pack user. Good job. All right, so anyway, so we continue. This says, what's the password? So we got into this breakpoint. What is the password? And then it's gonna print it. Now it should be there. And then we say A. Oh, sorry. There you go. We need to wait for the scanf. There you go. So A. And then go continue. So basically we have here the password that created. So we have it here on EAX, and then we have the other one that's going to be exploit pack, right? That's the user. So what we can do, so instead of, because here we can get it because we know how it created, but if we directly get into the string comp, so this is by following and then just checking how it created the password, right here, like I'm showing here. So this is the password for that user. But the best way for this is to jump into string comp, sorry. We go F7 into it. So basically we got the jump. Now we are going into the reference of it, press F8 to jump into, and now you can see that we are not into the text of the main function of this, how is it called? This binary crackme.exe, but we are inside a DLL that is from Microsoft BCRT DLL, and we are here that from this DLL is importing the export of a string comp. So we continue to that, and because we know how a string comp is working, so basically it takes two arguments, as I mentioned before. What we can do is a string comp will always be the same. If we using the string comp from this DLL or another similar, the string comp will always be the same, and the arguments are taken from here, right? So if we go into there, we can see that one is going to be the argument, and the other guy, and the other one that is going to compare it to. So the first one is the password, and the other one, the other argument is going to be our password, right? So when you are facing a crack me and you find a string comp, you can choose, go ahead and choose bypass the whole creation of the password or the serial, and you can choose drop into the string comp, and that's a trick you can use, and then choose get it from the string comp directly itself. So we get it. We can drop the execution pressing Control F2, and then we do this, and then export back. We are now on this breakpoint. We're gonna remove that breakpoint, continue the execution. It's gonna ask us for the password. We drop the password that we choose grab from the string comp, press enter, and then we landed into the printf. If we press F8, we're gonna continue because we are already went into the good branch. So basically we got it. The password was really blah blah blah, and then yeah, we got the window that we wanted to get into. Right, guys, do you have any questions for this crack me, or we can go ahead with the last one? If you have any questions, just say it now.
Hi. Just got a question on this solution. I tried to actually do the short jump directly to the function where it says, congrats, you got it. And the password was really whatever I did put as initial password. Is this a correct, is this also possible way to do the short jump to the solution right away?
You meant like this, right? For instance, instead of guessing the password, you choose drop here, conditional breakpoint, and what you can do, you meant something like this. Enter, and then you say password export pack. And then you say, what is the password? And then you type
yeah, whatever I did type.
Fake, and then you know, you see that it's gonna jump there because it's lighting the green light, the green one, and then you see that it says change set is jump if not 0. So it's gonna jump if not 0, but we can.
Yeah, just before calling the failure, like sorry, wrong password in the comparison, I just put a short jump to the I'm using the immunity debugger, that's why. Like, yeah, no, I didn't use it.
That's right. That's patching. So now we got the password. So basically, that's patching. In some crackmes, you cannot patch. But that's okay. I think that's good. You didn't get guess the password, but you cracked the program. So that's not bad. And one thing you can do, you can patch it like it is. So if you want to patch this, you need to go into edit. Here you can you need to do assemble, and then you can just say here, like a short jump, like you mentioned, to directly to the win window. Or if you just want to try it out, you can use a condition, and then don't break, and then you can set reg value. I'm going to show you this next week, but you can say set f, and then you can equal it to 1 every time and don't break. So it's going to sham there, just if you want to try it. But that's also fine. The only problem with that is, of course, that you don't guess the password.
You don't write. Okay, yeah. Thank you.
But fair enough. If you are doing not a crack me, but you are doing an actual program, anything is fair. Okay, so I think that's answered your question. So let's move into the other one. Alrighty. So level 3. Level 3 is a bit more harder than the other ones. So basically, it's not as simple, but it's simple. If you open exploit pack, you will see that under utilities, and if you go into exercises, you will find the source code for this guy. There are others as well you can do, and also the rob to win and some other challenges. We'll do it on later trainings. This training is more in particular on reversing, but we will use the other exercises like the buffer overflow challenge and how to do return-oriented programming into the exploit development type of. But you have these 3 crack myths. Right now, today, we're going to look into the dragon crack. That's basically a crack myth that I wrote. It's also simple. The intention of this crack myth is that you feel intimidated by the anti-debugging techniques that is used. But these techniques, they are implemented in a way that using the same knowledge that you just acquired, you should be able to bypass all of these techniques. I'm not going to give you a trick, but if you try to look carefully, you will understand that it looks hard, but it's not. The way that it has been coded, it's coded in a way that you should be able to solve it quite easy. All right. So you can look at the code, or you can run it to understand how it works. I put also as well the source code there, what you can grab from exploit pack, of course. Dragon crack. Let's put it into, again, let's find out what it is. 32. And then we can either drop it on Java or IDA. I'm going to choose IDA. Okay. So on this window, choose go ahead and click OK. Choose use the regular options. These options, I might show you what you can do with all the options that IDA gives you, and for instance, the symbol servers and stuff that you can use. But I don't think you need to use it right now. Okay, so you are presented here again with the first anti-debugging technique. So if you go into view, open strings, what you need to do, of course, to find again the serial, but this crack is not a regular crack. We're gonna run it so you guys can see how it works. Notice that before it ran, it did some things, right? You saw the scrolling thing moving. So it says, welcome to a crack RPG game, escape the dungeon and retrieve the sacred key from the dragon. To defeat this game, you need to crack the sacred key and avoid all the spells casted upon you. Rules: patching is not allowed. Auto, well, that's me. And then you press enter. Basically, I don't know if you guys know these hack type games, that the RPG games based on console. Well, this cracking, it tries to emulate that. So if you go ahead and then run it, you will be presented with the same, and it will say, shall I pick a character, race, role, gender, and align it, an alignment for you? You say yes. You say, okay, good job. You are now a chaotic female orcish barbarian with gender dysphoria. You're lucky. Full moon tonight. Press enter to start your journey. There you go. And then it's right in the red book. I am not going to run or escape for my destiny. That all, of course, everything is joke, programming jokes and stuff. So basically what we need to do here, you need to defeat the dragon. The dragon is gonna cast spells, and those spells are anti-debugging techniques. So it's gonna basically create new instance of anti-debugging techniques trying to detect you. And on the RPG games, they are called spells. So you are standing at the end of a row before a small brick building. Around you is a forest, a small house is ahead of you. So in order to defeat the Kraken, you need to defeat the dragon, right? That's the main goal. Action, enter the house. So press enter, you enter the house. Now you are presented with two actions. You can read the parchment, say, then you read it, and then these are secret words of Kruma. Repeat them to summon the dragon. Beware adventure, this will cost you some blood. The basic spell shows this word. These words, Ramma Nanarakak Wal. So you have 100 life and 0 secret keys. So your only action, press enter. And then a mighty dragon appears in front of you and hits you with a spell. You are now petrified, and now you feel something warm going down your pants. So you have 15% life less. 0 secret keys still, and you can fight or cowardly run away. Let's fight. Okay, and now I'm dead. The dragon has hit me and killed me using Is the Bugger Present magic spell. So now my life is 0, and then the secret key is I still don't have it. And well, the dragon has killed me, and I understood that is used Is the Bugger Present. So if we go here into the reversing and we go back into the anti-reversing reference, we can look for Is the Bugger Present there. So Is the Bugger Present, the kernel 32 Is the Bugger Present function was introduced in Windows 95, quite old. It returns a non-zero value if that bugger is present. The check can be made using this code, blah, blah, blah. And this is the code. That it can be used, and internally the function simply returns the value of the being debugged flag. So basically there is a flag that it returns a value, and if the program is being debugged, like we were debugging it, that's what it happened, and then it will return the value, and if the value is true, then of course the condition is true, then well, and then the program knows that it's being debugged. There are other types of anti-debugging techniques that detects debuggers, but that's one. So if we go into the source code, we can look for that. Well, you can, so I can show you where is it. There you go. Check the bugger present. Is the bugger present? So the flag trap, blah blah blah. Is the bugger present? And there is also there. You can look there. Where is it being called? Because we knew exactly where at the end where we were. So he is being called. Is the bugger present? You're dead. So how can we bypass Is the Bugger Present? So basically what we need to do to bypass Is the Bugger Present is well, I'm not gonna say it, so you guys can try it by yourself, but you can imagine how you can bypass a condition, right? So that's one of the condition that it needs. There is also one anti-technique that is not here. So also the dragon also helped you by telling you what type of anti-technique was being used and casted upon you. So that's a quite a big hint. Well, you can also look at it here. This place, at least, is being called is bagger present, but there is one anti-technique, well, it's not anti-technique, it's anti-decompilation technique that has been used in this dragon crack that you cannot find it here. So for instance, you can see that it says, sorry, this node is too big to display. And again, if we open this guy, into Java, so close it. All right. So, okay, let's open it with the Chrome browser. And then what we're gonna see here, oh, I need to analyze it. I hope it's quick. Well, now it's way slower, but it's going fast anyway. And we need to drop into the main function. Oh, actually, we can just click on this guy. I'm going here. Yes, answer. And as you can see, oh, there you go. And as you can see, there is nothing to be shown on this screen, right? You see, even if I go, let's say, well, the other ones should show. Yeah, you see. So if I go into exit, or yeah, it's showing something there, right? Yeah, you see, there is code there. But if I go up, there is yeah, it's not being able to show me. Same as we go here. So why this is happening? Let's try it again. Let's try also with the minor initial. I want to see what it does. Yeah, minor initial went full bananas. Drop strings there. You do it view strings, yes. Oh, that's not right.
Todo el día acostado en el pinche piso con calor.
Right. Yeah. So basically, what happens? Let me just drop that.
No.
Oh,
Pero lo compramos.
Adrian, can you mute yourself? There you go. All right. So what's happening is that basically this is not being able to decompile it or read it, or you can also not you cannot decompile it or see it because it's too big of a function. Basically, if you go into the source code, you will understand better. That's basically an anti-decompilation technique, because there is here. So this counts. So they are like printf. So it's dropping nothing into the screen. So basically, by doing that, and because it's so big and it's part of only one function, IDA is not being able to decompile it because it has reached the maximum amount of X-rays. So if you go into here into options, I think is what? No, what's that? I think it's this guy. Yeah, well, the maximum size that it can decompile, you can extend it, of course, but the maximum size has been reached, so it fails. The function is, that's by basically what it says. The function is too big to. But something that you can do to avoid this, if you want to still decompile it properly, what you can do is choose to yeah, you can choose if you want to bypass that, you can go inside it, or you can choose go into that and then choose remove or patch it, or just do, or when you do like this, you can choose drop a breakpoint inside. For instance, let's say when it's asking for, so I want to show you how to start with this guy. So let's enter to continue after 1 second. I think it was here. The first one. Yes. There you go. And if you want to reanalyze the code, there is a button here. Well, this is hidden, so it's here. So in IDA list, you need to right click here and then reanalyze the code. Okay, so now you know how to, I'm not gonna show you exactly how to remove it, but I'm gonna, well, now you know how can you reanalyze, how you can drop a breakpoint there. And I was also gonna give you the say again 10 minutes and then see if you can solve it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna mute myself. If you have questions, please go ahead and drop me a message, or unmute yourself as well. choose as a hint, guys, if you want to, well, if you don't want to remove it from the binary, you can choose jump it. You can choose jump the A's and the stuff, the stuff that is on count, or you can choose not use the graph, right? Continue with like the remote that I have here, and then you can choose, go ahead from there. Just don't try to, if you are using IDA, don't try to display the graph because it will consume your memory as well. If you are stuck or you need help, choose unmute yourself or say something on the chat. All right, guys. So we're back. So let's check this out. I'm not gonna solve the whole thing. I think I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna just give you the kickoff of it, so you can also work on it during the week, and then we can take over, and then do the rest of it the next session that should be next Thursday. All right, so how do we kick off on this guy? As I mentioned before, I'll choose with the other one, choose drop the string. Just need to pause the execution. That's what called. Pause the execution first. Okay, open strings. And then let's say we want to start on the beginning. So we know by running it that the beginning will be this guy. So we can jump into it. And then we are here. And then let's go down. So we can go away from those ends. And then we are here on our breakpoint, right? So if you can read between the lines, it says, well, welcome to this crack me, defeat the dragon, no patching is not allowed, and then the outer, and then our breakpoint. Then it's gonna do CLS on the screen. It's a call to system. You can see it's doing it a bunch of times. So then shall I pick a character ratio? The answer with choice, blah, 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 is right in the red book. We go after that. Then we know beforehand that this guy has killed us once the dragon appear. And as you can see here, he's calling is debugger present. So we might want to put a breakpoint there as well, right? So we go there. Continue execution. Basically, what we can do now is just press F9. All right. Continue the execution of it. There you go. Well, and then enter the house, patch, say fight, and then we just hit our second breakpoint, that is debugger press. Right, so if we press F7 on this guy, we're gonna jump at the effect to follow the jump to debugger press. We can go into debugger present, and then if we follow what it says on the anti-reversing, we know what's gonna happen is that's gonna, well, to defeat this method, we can only set in the beam zero flag to 0, right? So, and it's actually not even needed because it's inside a conditional. So something you can do, that's why I show you the code, so you can also check this. So if you go into, well, into exploit pack, you can go to that part of the code, because the intention here is that you understand and you learn from it. So you don't need to decompile it because you know exactly what it is. So let's go into actions fight. And then we are here, right? So this is where we are. If it's debugger present, you are there, is debugger present. So you can see here that we are there. And then what we can actually do, instead of just patching this guy, what we can do is to patch the condition, right? So we have the condition that is the if here inside, and we can patch the debugger present function. We can do either, and both will work, right? So that's the tip. And if you follow along the same lines, it will it should work it out for you as well. There are other techniques implemented into Describe Me, but they all follow the same guidelines. So basically, there is a technique. It looks like it's gonna be something hard to beat, but they are implemented in such a way that you should be able to bypass it just by dropping and setting the condition in the way that you need it. So there's more than one condition here. So what you can do, as I showed you before, you can choose edit breakpoint, and then you can, it depends on the debugger that you are using, but at least on IDA, if you do it like this, you can set reg values, and then you can say, in this case, well, depending on the condition that you face, but you can say setf, the value, of course, that you wanted. Do you know that? You can do ESS set value, for instance, and then if you go into the FX documentation, you will find, well, that which is what I explained it, but I did not that much explained it that of what I did, but it's basically the same. So basically set rec value, the value, that's the new register value and the register name. So this, and this is the value that you want to set. Okay, guys, I think that's enough for you to get it. If you find the key, once you find it, please go ahead and yeah, contact me with a PM on Discord, and let's see if yeah, let's see if you succeeded or not. If you need help, if you get stuck, if you, well, I will also provide you with the recording of this in a few days. But in the meantime, if you have any questions for me, please go ahead and yeah, and reach me out, and I will see if I can help you. Otherwise, next Thursday we will go ahead and yeah, and solve this. I mean, it's already solved if you choose follow along the lines that I gave you, but we're gonna end by grabbing the key, and I'm gonna show you how to kill the dragon. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this training. I hope it was. I hope it was. Yeah, it was plenty for you to have fun on reversing. The Discord link is choose the one. Is the one from the Expert Pack channel. Yeah, just put it here. So that's the Discord link, the invitation. If you are not the channel already. Well, and let's keep in touch. Thanks for participating on these trainings. Hopefully we will continue with these trainings along the year. Yeah, stay safe. And if you have questions, reach me out. Thanks, guys, and see you on the next one.
Thank you.